the financial freedom or financial independence that we talk about, what it does allow you to do is have the ability to have a lot of choice over what you choose to spend your time with. Welcome, income hackers. This is your host, Ryan G. Wright. This podcast is for individuals and families who are interested in fast-tracking their financial success. You'll hear experts discussing topics like generating a residual cash flow, building wealth through real estate, financial literacy, creating a family legacy, and overcoming your fears. If you get value out of this podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. It's a big help to me. A lot of people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on, or even $70,000 on a college education, but they're not willing to risk a few $1,000s or $10,000 on a real estate transaction that could be extremely beneficial for them. It could pay them 10 or 20 times that amount over time. So I think there's some disparagement there.
I really like the idea of having the mental space and the mental and emotional freedom to go after my passion without the thought of income, without doing it for the purpose of a lot of money. I want to do it because that's how I want to best serve the world. So if I can get to a point where my expenses are lower than my passive income, then I think that I could be a better father, a better husband, and a better mental health counselor.
Yeah, I love it. I found this a lot with doctors. I worked with some doctors and some dentists, spoke at an event, and it's really interesting because they usually get burnout, they get sick of it, but they're making good money. So they're kind of on this financial treadmill, right? So it's like, well, they like the lifestyle, they like the nice cars, they like those things, but they can't stop. Often referred to as the rat race, But what happens is as we start getting them passive income, or they get to the point where they're like, hey, I could stop practicing today, then they start enjoying practice all of a sudden. They're like, now I'm loving going to work. I cut back to 3 days a week or 4 days a week, and, I'm having fun with my clients. And they're like, I don't know if I am going to retire. So the financial freedom or financial independence that we talk about doesn't mean you're going to quit your job and go sit on the beach and atrophy and drink and eat and just do nothing, right? So, but what it does allow you to do is have the ability to have a lot of choice over what you choose to spend your time with, because I think you still need to grow, and that may be continuing to do what you do. That might be doing what you do. That might be making a big change like Lincoln's talking about making in his life, to a whole different career. But now you have the freedom of choice, not just that you're going to sit around and atrophy type ideas. So I want to make that distinction. There are some people that are on the financial treadmill and they just can't get off it because they haven't established some passive income. And there's other people that have established the passive income and they just really enjoy what they're doing. So they can continue doing it, but they can do it on their terms. So it's important to start thinking about those things. And now let's run through these and then we're going to do a deep dive. So when we talk about setting things up on a 10-year plan, we talk, step 1 is intentional spending. Step 2 is emergency fund. Step 3 is side hustle. Step 4 is maximizing credit. Step 5 is insurance. Step 6 is cash flow. And step 7 is legacy. So those are kind of the steps. We'll talk more about them. But what I want to do and spend kind of the bulk of our time here with Lincoln is just to get an idea. Well, let's talk about your passive income right now.
So pretty good situation. And I'm getting some new renters right now, and I'm up in the rent.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's my one rental income that I've got so far.
Great. So where I think we want to spend the bulk of our time is how much money are you wanting in passive income? What do you need? Or I look at it in two ways. I kind of have you like your plan A and your plan B. So it starts with like, what do you need to take care of things? And then what do you want? So I think round 1 of passive income is establishing your basic necessities. It's not going to take you to go see an NBA game. It's not going to pay for all these frou-frou-y type things that maybe you want, but it's like, what do you need? So let's work on passive income to get you to what you need put a roof over your head, food on the table. It might not be a mansion on the hill, but it'll take care of it, basic necessities. Let's get that established first. And then plan B is, basically what we call our lifestyle budget. So we have our basic budget and we have our lifestyle budget. And our lifestyle budget has trips and all those different types of things. So how much money are you thinking for your basic budget? What do you think that needs to look like for you? And there's no right or wrong answer. It's not like, hey, I want to be, I want to make $1 billion or a bunch of money or a little money, or it's like what works for you?
Yeah, the number that I just kind of had in mind for this is where I want to be before I can make a leap is about $6,600 a month.
Okay, perfect. $6,600 a month. And that's like your basic budget. That's not going to fly your family to Hawaii, but you guys would be fine. It would take care of things, put food on the table for you. And this is going to be different for everybody, different for where you live, different for your circumstances. But for your family, $6,600 is that what I would call basic budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Fantastic. So let's reverse engineer. So let's talk about cash flow for just a minute. There's two ways to get cash flow. You either create cash flow or you buy cash flow. And what I mean by that is you're going to go create a deal, put a deal together that's going to generate that cash flow for you, like you kind of stumbled into with your own house where you moved out and then it's creating that cash flow that, you created that. There's no cash flow there. Or you take earned income and you go invest it. And with that investment, it's going to pay you out, and you're going to get cash flow from that as well. So there's kind of both sides of this equation: is earning it, or creating it, or buying it. So you're taking money and doing the investment. So those are two kind of sides of the equation. So if you've got a bunch of cash that we can go find good investments or passive investments for, then you could get that money deployed and start making some cash flow on those things. So that's kind of one side of the equation. So I don't know, do you have capital that you're looking to say, I just need to find some good investments to pay, or are we more working on creating cash flow?
Okay, so let's say I have $20K to invest.
Okay. $20,000 to invest. You should at least be getting a 10% return on that, right? So that $20,000 is going to get you about $2,000 a year. So we've got 2,000, divide by 12, you're about let's just call it $175 a month. So that'd be your investment. And then you've already got $400 a month coming in from your rental property. So we're like $475 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and the delta on it right now, so let's just call it, so you've got about $6,000, $6,100 delta on monthly cash flow. How are we going to establish the rest of that cash flow? How are we going to get there?
I don't know. That's why I'm talking to you.
If you didn't have to put any money into it and you needed, $6,600 a month, and let's say you're making $300 net, you'd need 22 BRRRR properties in order to get to your $6,600 a month if we just want to do it via real estate, via rental properties. The other thing we can do is we can do lending deals. The nice thing about these BRRRR deals like this is you're putting very little of your own money in. So we can take that $20,000, put that into the deal, get a loan on it, fix that property up, get a tenant in there, refinance, get another one, refinance, that type of a strategy. And that includes management fees, right? So if our average is, I think we said $300, but that's net of repairs, management, and everything else like that. That may be a strategy that we could do. That's a path. If you got value out of our discussion today, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. It's a big help to me. Also, please share with a friend. Nothing is more valuable than creating financial friends who are like-minded. You can do that by inviting them to listen to the Income Hacker podcast. Bye for now, and make it a very profitable day.